Oh boy, we got 57 live. I'm surprised there's people still watching after spending all that time going through new CGC books.
Yeah,
Well,
and
dude, I was checking my back issues for Acetate comics in case we missed one.
yeah, and Frank says I'm slowly becoming known for being fashionably late. Well, first of all, this is late because of this guy, but my wife says I'm terribly late all the time anyway. So
Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. I'm terrible. I'm really bad about it. Like I was supposed to have a phone call with some people over the last couple of days, and without me like messing up on my own, like there's all these things that just come up in the wrong places, and I've missed the phone call 2 days in a row. Sorry, Jen.
That could have been Rick Simpson getting you.
Yes.
Hey, and thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
really.
The CGC vid was good, you guys. If you guys didn't see it, you guys can check it out. It'll be under the House of Stein YouTube page. Under the we need to make a live box opening playlist. So
I opened up an unboxing playlist.
Perfect.
Make
sure you guys check that out.
Yeah, if you missed it, this right here was given away.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna go edit them right now.
How much did you give it away for?
Free. I'm even
free.
And I'm even paying the shipping. So I paid for the grading and the shipping. So somebody just got like a $500 book for free.
Yeah. Listen, you guys, it has been a crazy couple weeks. It's been a crazy month for me. Started off with San Diego, getting sick, and then C2E2. Like, thank God I wasn't there, because I don't know if I could handle all that fucking craziness from the week before, and just like having to be Johnny on the spot for a lot of that stuff, man. There's been a lot of talk over what's been going on in our community, specifically the speculation community, the retailer community. It's very interesting, and we're gonna continue to take a look at it in a constructive way. I think that's very important. If you guys know me, you know I really pride myself on not being a douchebag, and that also includes talking about these things in a constructive way, giving people a chance to explain themselves, talking about how you feel on situations in a constructive way. So and I don't hang around people that feel otherwise. So I got two of those guys with me today. They're going to do the same thing. Hopefully Mel's going to jump in at some point. We'll hear from him. And there's probably not going to be much talk about it on Drunken Chat tonight, but that's Drunken Chats. They already talked about it. On to the next one.
Yeah, well, we talked about it last week, and Yi kind of predicted it. Like, we didn't even know what was going on, and Yi like totally predicted it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Because we were like, I would say, I don't want to say for sure, but I would say we were probably like one of the first people to even mention it.
Yeah, because the con was still going on.
It was that day.
Yeah. We were waiting to hear people from that con. So we'll get into it as we get to later on in the list, you guys. We're going to start it off with everybody's favorite almost 10 portion of the show, brought to you by Beyond Wednesdays. Thank you to everybody that has been hanging out with us over there. The content has been really, really good lately, and we've been doing some things behind the scenes that are just going to make the shows much better over there. So thank you to everybody that's helping out. Let's get into it. The almost 10 list, starting off this week with some very interesting books. One of my favorite artists of all time, Dave Stevens, starts off the list this week. For those of you guys that don't know, Dave Stevens passed away way too early, and I kind of put him in that same like category with Michael Turner, where when they passed away, they were on top, and you know, I just don't think they get as much love as they should these days. But we're gonna do a little spotlight on them. This is an interesting French book that Stein found that kind of reprints another U.S. book in a different light, kind of just on the female on the cover, and it looks great. I mean, beautiful, beautiful book right here. Maybe magazine, I don't know. We'll have to talk to the international guys about it. Special USA number 19 from 1992.
Yeah, so this is the same cover as in Alien World 3, maybe, or I think that might be it. But that's like Bryan said, this is a much closer view of her. On the inside, so the listing, this must be pretty rare because I couldn't find any information about it at all other than what was in the listing. But they actually showed some of the inside pages, and the whole inside is like a bunch of different comics are inside. So I don't know if it's just one of those random foreign things that they just had, they just basically take a bunch of them and put them in one thing. But yeah, anytime you have like a really good looking Dave Stevens cover, it was well worth putting it again.
Amen. People need to see books like this. 100%. They're amazing. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and this came out in '92. So this isn't like,
oh wow,
when did
way
that?
After?
Yeah, Alien Worlds was what, 80, probably like 87 maybe.
Yeah, let me look it up. Alien.
It's Copper Age, I believe. Yeah, so somewhere there.
Yeah, this came out in '92. Even though it doesn't look like something from '92, that's what the person had in their listing, was it was from 1992. So
here's Alien Worlds. Let's see here. The book that we're talking about is Alien Worlds number 4 from 1982. You are correct, 82. So absolutely amazing. For those of you guys that have never seen the real cover, let's go ahead and show you guys that. There you guys go. There's the original. Beautiful, beautiful Dave Stevens. I actually have this book, and it's signed by Dave Stevens. So one of my PC grails, Dave Stevens autographs. So there you go.
Yeah, Red Hood. I don't know. I don't have that book. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have. Which book are you talking about? Because I don't have this one. I didn't buy this one. It sold for $125. So I did not buy this. I probably would have considered it though, if I would have saw it before it sold.
Yeah, nice book. Beautiful. All right, on to the next one. This one's interesting too. Amazing Spider-Man 184, the all detergent, no price variant. Another book that a lot of people are finding out for the first time right now.
Yeah, so apparently back in whenever this came out,
78.
78. I was going to say like 81, 82, but okay, 78. They did some kind of thing at the laundromats. And they gave away, if you bought all detergent at the laundromat, they gave you this comic. Now, they come 3 different ways. They come, and I had actually, because I'd never even heard of this, but they came 3 different ways. They came with a white sticker, which is on this one. They came with a yellow sticker, and then they came with no sticker. None of them have the price up in the top left corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the one that sold this week sold for $300. It was probably in like 5.0 grade. But where it says this issue free, somebody had taken a black Sharpie and marked out free. So it was this big black bar with it marked out, which I would assume that if you created that they would probably give us like a qualified or something like that. I would think.
There is no 9.8s, 2 9.6s, 1 9.4, 4 8.0s, and continues to drop from there pretty heavily.
Yeah. So I didn't even know anything about this. The sticker is weird. Yeah, it's just a weird book, but Like I said, that the one that sold for 300 in like 5.0 grade. So this is expensive. If I would have seen the sticker on it, I probably would have. I probably would have passed it up, to be honest.
I would definitely pull this book out and smell it. Definitely 1,000%. So you know how that works, you guys. Great book. Love these promo books. Finding out about them is fun. That's why I got back into comics, books like this. All right, next on the list, there's one person that draws Moon Knight amazing, and that's Bill Sienkiewicz. But there's a person that's right behind him,
Finch,
named David Finch, and this is a great David Finch Moon Knight cover right here.
Yeah, so this one's pretty hard to find. It's just a 1 in 10, but one sold this week for 80. There is a black and white version of this. I think it's the second print.
Yep.
Vengeance
Vengeance of Moon Knight #1, by the way, you guys, from 2020, 2019. I can't remember.
That's got to be older than that.
Older than that?
Yeah, it's like from 2000. It's probably between 2009, 2010. Yeah, 2010 to 2014.
Yeah. Remo's like, I thought you were gonna stay Stephen Platt. Yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of Stephen Platt art. I mean, I like the guy for being a good artist, but I'm not a big fan of him. He's got chests bigger than fucking Captain America, Rob Liefeld, books.
Yeah, but this is the same guy that doesn't like homage variants, and if you've seen his pre-order list. I'm kidding.
What is this selling for you? What did you say you saw this
80,
go for?
80
raw.
80
wow.
raw.
I like it.
Wow. Be on the lookout for the Bloody Hands Finch Moon Knight that he did. That's another great book.
Cornbread.
Yep. Next on the list, this one is very interesting. Issue 1. Now, did a little bit of look on this book. It collects the best black and white comics from the past few years, according to Robert Sergel fans. So I've never heard of Robert Sergel, but he's a cartoonist, illustrator, graphic designer, and this is an interesting seller if you ever see it. Anybody in the chat that knows about this book or knows about this artist, I would love to hear about it.
The cover reminds me. It's obviously more simplistic, but it reminds me of either that Star Wars with Rey on the cover, where she's sitting there with BB-8 looking at the stars, or the Silver Surfer Francovilla's, where it's just very simplistic, looks very, it's black and white. It just looks, I mean, the house is just very basic. I mean,
it reminds me of like the books that were coming out, 5-6 years ago. We can never go home. Yeah, We Can Never Go Home, and then there was the other one that was similar to that. Kind of reminds me of those books. So, Askew, yes, Askew. But I also say Segu.
But this sold for $40. You literally there's like no information. It doesn't show up on My Comic Shop. It doesn't show up on Comic Book Realm. That's very I've never even heard of this thing.
You want to hear what's in it? Teenage misadventure, human biology, shellfish, fungal infections, feline disinterest, found correspondence, sex education, and 13 bad experiences involving water. There you go.
I kind of want it. I kind of want it.
How much did you say it sold for again?
$40.
$40, you guys. Be on the lookout. You can probably find these in half-price books. All right, on to the next one. One of the most beautiful Neil Adams post-1990 covers that you're ever going to see. Neil Adams in his old age, sometimes he was hit or miss, but man, did he knock this one out of the park. This is the 1 in 50 Neil Adams variant from Ghost Rider #1 from 2011. Absolutely gorgeous. And a CGC 9.8 sold for how much, Ben?
$2,900.
Woo!
which is by far an all-time high. I actually owned this book one time. I found this one at a store, got it for $20. It was damaged, so there was no fixing it. It had a really, like, down towards that tire, it was like folded over. But I bought it anyway because this variant is so hard to get that even for $20, I would have probably paid 50, and that was at the time when nobody really knew about this. I probably would have paid 50 for it, but 2,900 for this. And I think you might have to actually go, 'cause I've seen this listed two different ways, one in 50 and one in 75. So I don't really know which is real. You almost have to go back to the order forms to see whether or not it's a one in 50 or one in 75. But whatever it is, it's not. It's rare. It's really, really, really hard to find.
Yeah. Never seen it. Ever. And I'm specifically looking. So
this is I was like, oh, I can't believe this, because I didn't know this was on the list. But is this Alejandro Jones? It is, right?
Neil Adams, bro.
No, the first appearance is Alejandro Jones, Ghost Rider. It's from 2011.
That's a great question. You would know that.
It is from 2011.
50. I have the 125 Lottie. This is definitely on my list. We've talked about this book.
Yes.
Right, remember?
Yep. So, shout out to Discovery Bay Comics. JB's killing it. JB says, "Cheers to the panel and chat." JB, let me know what strain you're loving right now, as he is a friendly community member. I'll just say that.
I agree. I do agree with Drew. This does not look like Neil Adams.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
And have you seen the 1 in 25 Lottie? That thing is
Yes.
freaking insane too. I mean, I know Ghost Rider variants are always like really, crazy, and especially #1 issues. But man, this was a lower print book. I think Comic Con has it like around 30K, and you had that 1 in 25 is a banger, and then that 1 in 75 or 1 in 50 Neil Adams is just poo. I think there's a blank for this as well.
Isn't there? Was the regular cover a Clayton Crane cover?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. On to the next one.
Sorry, Brian. There's a newsstand edition. Be aware of that.
Oh, okay. Nice. Next, Swamp Thing is on the list. Swamp Thing #1 from 2021. What's going on here? We got some new characters in this that we missed over back then.
Yeah, this one has a first appearance in it, and I guess people are. I mean, I don't know what the print run on this was, but I would think that even though it's a #1, that Swamp Thing wasn't heavily ordered. Now there may be quite a few, like in somebody's. Oh, I got to get rid of these DC books. I'm going to throw them in a warehouse, and 10 years from now, hopefully they'll be worth something. Box. But this cover, like, I was just looking at this cover, like with it blown up like this. That is a sick cover.
Yeah, there's also like 6 first appearances in this book too.
Yeah, so I didn't know anything about. I would have never thought to buy this book, but it's selling it's like $25 book. So if you see it in the back issue bin for cover, then definitely buy it.
Yeah, for sure. Next on the list, Captain Marvel #23 from 2020, getting some love in the almost 10.
Yeah, is this like the first time Captain Marvel and Namor meet up? Is that what that is, or just because they're on the cover?
Captain Marvel 23 is your first appearance of Ove, which is the son of Namor, and I believe it's Bridget Thor's daughter, and that's really her last name, and she ends up being like Thor later. But anyways, different reality at this point in Kelly Thompson's run. Carol was kind of just jumping reality. She was dating a War Machine again, and she comes into these kind of variants of other characters that she's familiar with, and she's kind of tripping out. Then 23 comes and she meets Ove, and he's a badass. Excuse my French. But there is some confusion. I want you guys to know. I talked about this on my show yesterday, but I like this book. It's a great dollar bin book, long-term, all that stuff, beautiful cover. But that is the first cover appearance of Oath, not 22-second print. 22-second print is being marketed as the first cover of Oath and is getting a bump. That is false. That book came out 2 weeks after this book.
There you guys go. The type of information we love to drop.
Man, Richie's dropping bombs.
All right, next on the list. Before I get there, though, I always have to ask, how much did this sell for again?
This one's like 10 to 15.
Not bad. All right, a gorgeous Jeff DeCall cover coming up. You guys know it was going to show up on the list at some point, another Jeff DeCall cover, because he just keeps destroying shit. This is absolutely amazing stuff. Vampirella, The Trial of the Soul, the Jeff DeCall variant. Beautiful, gorgeous. We talked about it when it came out on probably Drunken Chat or Comic News Weekly. But those dogs look amazing next to that.
Yeah, this looks very noirish.
Yes,
I guess is maybe the word I'm looking for. Is that a word?
Yes.
But yeah, so I don't think people in general know about this because it is like a store variant, like a store variant.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only
250.
250. That's even because it's just they get it. It's a Dynamite book, but 250. That's really low for a good DeCall cover or decal or decal or whatever he says. But yeah, so I figured because there was a CGC 9.8 that sold this week for 100, that I figured people probably would want to know about this book at this point.
Yeah.
Because if you can get it for cheap, I think this is for that price, I think that's a buy.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful stuff. All right. Next on the Almost 10, we've got another one of those goofy ones that you just like, what is this? It's an homage. I'll tell you that. Delivery Boy Man, #1.
You can laugh. First of all, if you notice who the artist is, it is Matt Groening. So it is Simpsons art. It is not a Simpsons comic, but it was produced by Bongo, who was doing Simpsons comics. Delivery Boy Man. I don't know what this book is about. It's super weird. It's really odd. I've never heard of this
Philip J.
book.
Fry, baby.
Yeah, never heard of this book, but a CGC 9.0. Not a 9.2, not a 9.4. This book came in like 2010, so this is not even old. Not CGC 9.0 sold for over 400 for this. Yeah,
Simpsons, man. It's not necessarily Simpsons, but Futurama. Just same fans. This is you gotta love it, especially when it sells for that much. And people probably would see this in a back issue bin and would not even fucking bat an eye at it.
I literally don't even know what it's about, but
yeah.
Now
there you go.
Again, now I want it.
Yes, damn right. All right, next on the list, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, #10, the Saladin Ahmed, 1/25 variant. Great cover.
Yeah. Yes, in mad respect, it was Groening.
I think it's
this one. No, the Delivery Man. This one is. I think this is listed as Ahmed.
No, Ahmed's the writer.
Really?
Yeah, he's the writer. This is.
I don't know. That's what MCS had it listed as, but I don't actually know. All I know is I don't like the Miles's chest looks super weird to me.
But it's not about that, Ben. It's about Starling Vulture in the background, brother.
I get it, I guess, but you put Miles right there front and center, and and he's got a rectangle torso. It just looks weird.
And don't forget Guts. Don't forget Guts.
There are.
First ultimatum.
Yeah, first ultimatum. But yeah, so this one's up to $60 now. So there wasn't very many listed either. So there's a potential that this could go higher than 60.
Yeah, cool stuff. I sold the first Starling a couple days ago. People are definitely looking for her book.
I'd definitely be holding.
Yeah,
but I know you sell everything.
Yep. Next on the list, another Miles Morales Spider-Man book. This time, a newsstand sold this week of this book, Ultimate Comic Spider-Man #3, for a lot of money.
Yeah, so this is just #3. There's, as far as I know, there's no first appearances. It's just a newsstand, and
with a moon cover.
With a moon cover, and I mean the I will say the city on that is gorgeous. It almost looks like a photo.
Yep.
Does that say it's is that a Kari Andrews? Is that who that?
Yeah, Kari Andrews. It looks like. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not either. But this sold for $150 raw, which it's just a newsstand of this book. I mean, there's not anything special about it, but it's what's really just weird is just all these newsstands are really selling. I mean, I hope some of you guys have been picking up just random newsstands. It doesn't even have to be keys, clearly, for you to be able to make money if you insert fart noise. I don't know why that hit me really funny. But
I can tell you why, because it's a fart joke, and fart jokes will always be funny, bro.
I guess. Yeah, I just think that I mean, like I said, I hope you guys bought newsstands when you could, because it's crazy how much they go for.
Yeah.
And like I was saying to you guys in previous shows, make sure you compare the direct edition to the newsstand edition in the sense of pricing when it comes to grading, because when you fill out your submission form, you have that option to, I can't find my book. Well, you can put in their newsstand edition, and if there's a price differential, they will mark it newsstand edition, CGC.
There you go. At some point, CGC is going to have to make some hard and fast rules, and it sounds like maybe that's one of them. That is a good one. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Almost 10. But because it is August, and because August is the crazy month of the giveaway, for those of you guys that don't know, we have been giving away books all month because of the reaching the 1,000 subscriber mark on House of Stein, reaching the 1,000 subscriber mark on Beyond Wednesdays, and getting Popcorn Culture to 500 subscribers. We have goodies galore this week, or this month, I'll say. But I want to, before we do that, I want to key in on a good, amazing channel for you guys to go check out. That being Popcorn Culture. You guys, we got it to 500, over 500. We're at 515. If you're not subbed up to Popcorn Culture right now, you guys, I'm going to drop the link in the chat for everybody to go take a look at it. Richie's been putting out awesome content. He's got a bunch of goodies coming up that are still in the hopper. So make sure you guys go check it out. Richie, let's see what you got tonight to give away for everybody that has been talking in the chat. What do you got tonight?
All right, guys, make sure you're subbed up to me. Make sure you're subbed up to Brian, and make sure you're subbed up to Ben. Also, our Instagrams as well. If you don't have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but we're just no joke. We are giving a month long of goodies, and I'm not talking like some sealed wax packs that cost $1. I'm talking like some bangers. So what we're gonna do, we started slow yesterday, and I gave away a small book, a Susan Micah 1 in 25. It was no big deal. But congratulations to Linda Neen for winning that. And thank you for following all 3 of our channels and following Mighty Mel V's. And for tonight, because I love Sakura Spider so much, and I did promise you guys, we are going to give away Sakura Spider, first in U.S. Comics. This is Deadpool Black, White, and Blood 4 variant, open to order. And this is the beautiful Stan Sakai, open to order, cover A, same character. And I'm going to throw in an Adam Hughes 1 in 50. Let's go.
You ready? All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the giveaway. We got another combatant entering. We'll bring in after this giveaway. Here we go. Giveaway care of Popcorn Culture on YouTube. Make sure you guys go give Richie a follow.
This looks way better than how I tried to give away a book.
All right. Gamma T and KY Pop, congratulations. Hit up Richie at Popcorn Culture on IG. He will get your information. Congratulations to the winner of the Souls of Micah 1 in 25 the other night. Also, congratulations to the winner of that Invincible book Behind Ben's Head that he gave away today. And everybody that's ever won anything on Drunken Chat. What up, Mighty Mel V?
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing?
Fix your mic.
Fix your mic.
It was Spec the Deck Comics that won the Invincible.
Oh, nice. He's good. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't remember. Sure. I was trying to get through the stream so fast that I couldn't remember. And then he was like, "Oh no, it was me."
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also have these books that I think we're due to announce a winner of at some time. Also, shout out to Wanted Comics. Wanted Comics with an X. Drew, one of the biggest supporters in this community, stand-up retailer. Just super respect for that guy. He did an amazing Daredevil David Mack exclusive. Here's the trade dress. Here is the Virgin, and I love the Virgin because it has that badass David Mack like circles on there and stuff. Really smart way to do a Virgin copy. It's just, a little extra into it that I really like. So we're gonna give these away, announce the winner of these sometime here soon. So make sure you guys continue to stick around. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. How you doing, Mel?
I'm okay.
You okay? Just
yeah,
okay?
I'm
just okay.
Hey, Mel, this is drama free comic talk.
Yes. That's what's going on Drunken Chat. We're not talking about that shit.
It's comics, guys. It's comics.
Well, we're going to be talking about it, but drama free is for sure.
No comic.
All right, let's get into our honorable mention this week. A beautiful Golden Age Diary Secrets Giant Comics edition number 12. Beautiful Matt Baker cover. Who doesn't want to read her diary? I don't know. I always thought that was kind of cheat, like creepy when people would want to read people's diaries. But man, like
people don't know how to mind their goddamn business.
Yeah. This one this one's gorgeous though, right? Like, yeah. I mean, like that is just really well done.
You can't even tell the grade of that comic is all ridiculous because of how great that cover is.
Yeah. It's really well done. Like I can't imagine him in today's market. I mean, gosh, he probably only got paid like $100 or something for this.
Less. I bet you even less.
I mean, it's messed up. But so Heritage had a Matt Baker only auction. Like every book was Matt Baker, which is crazy. But this one was the highest selling one. So a CGC 5.0 sold for $26,000 on this, which 3 years ago an 8.0 sold for less than that. So 5.0 sold for more than that. But yeah, all the ones that I would have wanted are just basically way out of my price range. I can't spend multi-$1,000 on one book. I don't have that kind of I don't have that kind of money, but this one is beautiful. I would take a 1.0 of this, or even I would probably
Hell
even take
yeah.
a 0.5,
Qualified, yeah,
yeah, with
0.5.
a detached just to get this cover.
Yep. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. What did this sell for at a CGC 5.0, you said?
26,000.
Wow.
For this.
For this. This sold for more than this, like the 7Cs. I mean, like all the main ones that we see all the time. This one hasn't sold in like 3 years. So this one must be really difficult to get.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you, is it rarity or is it the artist? Is it
I would
Matt
say
Baker and rarity.
Baker, rarity, and it's gorgeous. It's just, I think it's a combination of all three of those pieces.
who would you compare Matt Baker's style to that's currently drawing there?
Bruce Timm.
Fair enough.
I mean,
that's there's only a couple people you can really, Darwin Cook.
No, I mean, Hughes, I think, said that he mimicked a lot of Matt Baker
Early on.
Yeah, I mean, so I think Hughes's style is this type of style. Obviously, Hughes has got a little bit different technique, but I mean, like I said, you bring Matt Baker into the 21st century, and I think it's a whole different ball game because I mean, he was basically just doing this with very basic tools.
He was creating this at the time. Like,
Yes.
people had never like this. When people saw this, they think of what, like, how we think about Adam Hughes and Alex Ross now. Like, holy cow!
Give me a cross between Matt Baker and Tim Vigil, and you got me.
So you just want like this with like her like guts falling out.
amongst other things, yeah.
All right. Well, on to the next one. Our next honorable mention. We got a Disney book on here, a Disney Dark Horse book. I've never, ever seen this book. Little Mermaid #1 from 2019.
Remember, everybody was going crazy with those Joe books, and they're really not like this.
The Joe books came out after
right? Yeah.
After the Dark Horse. So the Dark Horse kind of just snuck in there for like a few issues, and then it went over to the Joe books. So I think that's probably one reason why this one's kind of overlooked. I think there may have been was there a Frozen Dark Horse as well? I'm not 100% sure, but
I believe
I think there was. I remember that. Yeah. Double check that.
Yeah, there's not many of these out there. But for some reason, and I mentioned this in the article, but I would never say on day of release go buy Little Mermaid books or go buy Frozen books or go buy any of that because it's going to be worth money. I would never ever say that. You're not taking a comic book out of a 8-year-old girl's hand to make $5. You're not doing that. If you do, then you need to find something else to do.
Remember that Scooby-Doo and Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I mean, just don't buy kids' books when they come out. But this came out 3 years ago.
Look at there's a ton of them.
So yeah, so Dark Horse clearly made a bunch. I would tend to say that if you find any of the Dark Horse Disney books for right around cover, you should buy them. This is selling for like this is selling for like $45. Yeah.
Ben, do you feel that way about IDW with the Duck, the McDuck books?
Like DuckTales and stuff like that?
Yeah. All those IDW did like Scrooge McDuck and a bunch of other McDuck.
Remember those 1 in 15s were on fire for
dude.
For a minute, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think if they throw in a variant, then I think the variants are fair game. But I would not take any kids comics away from the kids initially. Like I said, I mean, 6 months or even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month down after release, that's fair game. But if they want that book, give it. You better do the right thing and let the kid have it first.
Shout out to Royal Collectibles. They keep their kids section away from their new releases, so I think that's pretty cool. Like, they have a dedicated kids section. So if you're over there, they're gonna look at you crazy. What the fuck you doing over there?
We got spammers, Brian.
I'm
Do we?
taking a look at it. Yep. Dealing with it.
Yeah.
All right.
They're awesome.
I tried to go to that spammer site, but it's just, I don't know. It's so weird. My computer's frozen.
I told you, just go to their site and just spam comic book stuff.
I'm kidding.
All right. There we go. I think I got it. All right. On to the next one. Let's get on to number 10. At number 10 this week, one of the books that I still cannot find. I will own one of these one day. Love this cover. Pop Kill number 4, the Adam Hughes variant, the impossible to find Adam Hughes variant.
This was like when COVID first started, no?
Yes.
Around that time?
Yes.
And everybody, and because it was Kickstarter or whatever, and everybody, I think people knew that Hughes was doing one, and I think they just forgot about it.
Now that's when Hughes kind of like fell off.
Yeah. And they were like, it's probably going to not be very good, or like, what is this book all about anyway? And yeah, and it definitely sold very well. I mean, initially, it was selling for like 150, 200 raw, and people were like, "Oh, should I sell for? I just got an offer for $250. Should I sell?" And oh yeah, man, $250. I mean, you only paid $20 for it. Cash in. Well, yeah. Now CGC 9.8s are $1,500.
What?
Yeah. But there are 67 graded of this book. Now, it's rare. This is a very rare book. So when you see a number like that in the census, it kind of skews what your mindset is. But I really think that the overwhelming majority of these things have already been graded. I bet if we look at that census a year from now, it's not going to change very much from what it is right now. That's pretty much. Like I think the estimated was like about 200 copies of this out there, so it's very, very low. And I think there's only 3 listings I think right now, and I think they're all CGC 9.8s, and I think they're all listed for well over $2,000. So, yeah.
You got to figure how many's on the CBCS census as well?
There's one or 3, 198, and I think 296s. I did look.
Kickstarter too. This was a Kickstarter.
Was this a cardstock cover, or is this I mean, I've never seen it in person.
Was it bigger? Was it bigger than a normal comic size? Also, why did I feel like it was bigger than normal comic size? Let me know, you guys in the chat.
The variants were printed based on the number of confirmed backers, which included multiple pledge levels, totaling approximately 270 copies, and that's coming from a Key Collector. And I did a little research today when I saw the list come out, and yeah, it seems pretty accurate on that. So I'm guessing there's only about 270 to 300 copies, but
regular size.
Yeah, regular size. Okay. A few more Kickstarter, Indiegogo entries, crowdfunding. Yeah, so very cool.
Yep. 230 live. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. We got an interesting list tonight. Thanks for coming and check it out. We've got one giveaway already down. We'll have a couple more giveaways ready to go this month, and it might even be tonight. So make sure you guys are participating in the live chat. And
yeah. I gave away a paycheck 2 hours ago. So
yeah.
I think that's why you kept asking yourself, like you were totally cool with it, but you're just like, I just gave this away. Well, meanwhile, next week's show he'll be in Buffalo freezing.
No, I'm gonna be. I am. I was going to be home next week, and then I got a text this afternoon that, oh, sorry, you're not going to be at home. You got to go back to Chicago. So, yeah, but I did miss the C2E2 stuff. So.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next one. Here we go. One of the most amazing covers ever. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Dead of Night, Werewolf by Night, #1.
It looks like that monster from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a scary ass Bigfoot, bro.
And also the rendition of a werewolf from American Werewolf in London.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. Awesome.
Yeah, that's what they did with this. It's a one shot, right?
No, I think there was
limited series.
I think it was 4 issues.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was doing some research, and it's a different version of Jack Russell.
Yeah, this I didn't really know much about this, but I mean it's one of those Max things, and
Yeah.
I think that, I mean that for you really think about some of those Max comics, they were really edgy for for Marvel. I mean they were. I mean even if you look at this cover, like that would probably not fly for almost any Marvel book anymore. I mean all that blood and everything. But I'm not sure. I'm guessing that somebody is probably like, hey, you know, Werewolf by Night's really cool. Let's find hard to find books. This one had a print run of less than 10,000, which for a Marvel,
Yep.
which for Marvel is low. But it's now selling for more than $30 plus for this. So if you happen to go digging, make sure that you, and I don't know how they would have that listed, if they would have this like alphabetized by Dead of Night or by Werewolf by Night. I don't know. So you might want to check both places.
Ben, did we get some recent Werewolf by Night news or something like that? Or
I mean, the only I just only knew about the Halloween special, and that's still supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I knew about it.
Probably hear more about it at D23.
Yeah.
Is that next week?
September
usually. Yeah.
September. Okay.
ECC is next week, so it's gonna be
Is
a lot
it?
of fun. Yeah. I'm heading
Didn't
out there. I leave Thursday.
Didn't they used to have that in the spring?
Great question. I think they had it in the spring last year, or the last time they had it, just because they hadn't had it in a year and a half or maybe.
Yeah.
So, but
okay.
All right. On to the next one, you guys. Number 8 this week. This is a cool cover too. I actually like this cover. This looks really, really good as the Virgin variant. Predator number 1, the Raza variant right here. Really, really good. And like Ben said in the write-up, there were a lot of really cool Predator variants lately.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Bill.
The other Raza is by far the cream of the crop, best Predator rendition cover I've ever seen.
The night Vision one, yeah.
Correct. And that's by far.
Which one was that? I don't remember seeing that one, but
was that
an incentive?
And it was a variant from Marvel when they were doing all the Predator covers. It probably wasn't even on a Predator book.
No, it's open order. It's open order for Predator number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I loved Predator. I mean, that was like when I was a teenager, that freaking Schwarzenegger book or movie was just so good. And then this apparently I haven't seen it yet because I don't have Hulu, but everybody says that Prey movie is excellent.
So good. Yeah, it's so good.
You know, in retrospect, going back to Aliens vs. Predator, they weren't bad movies.
No, they weren't. I was just talking about this.
It's a great concept. It's a fun movie, and they weren't bad. If you go back and watch them, like now, like when you first came in, like, oh, it's overrated shit. Yeah, but if you go back now, like years later, they weren't bad movies. They were like pretty fucking entertaining.
But yeah, like I mean, Patrick said that this was a good read. I've heard that a bunch of people who've read this said this was a really good read. So I think when you've got that and you've got a kind of like a generational character. I mean, obviously this initially came back out in the 80s. So I mean you got 80s and then 90s and then I mean this is like a 40-year span. That's a long time.
Was it that long? Yo, bro, I seen that shit in the movies, bro. You just hurt my feelings.
It's probably like 88, like 89, something like that when that first one came out.
You hurt my heart.
Well, you guys want to see something interesting. This was brought up last night on the podcast for you guys. Just very interesting. I knew this, but a lot of people don't know this.
And we all know was originally cast as the Predator in this film. However, he was
I didn't know that, dude. This is actually,
it looked like a bug
if you're into film stuff, it's called Raiders of the Lost Podcast. They just talk about film shit. It's twin brothers.
That's the Predator
that's
originally.
Crazy, dude.
They redesigned the Predator into something more agile and scarier, and that's when it was cast with Kevin Peter Hall, who's also much taller than Jean-Claude Van Damme, as this new Predator. And speaking of the design of the
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it originally looked
Fascinating.
really, really goofy, man. Could you imagine if it looked like that first costume?
87. So it was 87.
Stein
So I
wouldn't
said,
like the Predator if it was that first costume.
oh,
Nobody
no.
would have.
No, but hey, the best part of that movie was when, I don't remember the actor's name, but he took his knife out and he had like, what he's like doing that on his face,
Yeah.
or like this, or was on his head. What was it? I can't remember
Did he
exactly.
really cut himself?
Oh no, he wouldn't cut. No, he was just
Shaving
like
himself.
shaving himself.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wait, was that Jesse the Body Ventura?
No.
No,
it
he wasn't the one
was-
doing it. I
I'll
don't remember
tell you.
the actor name, but he was so good in that.
He was shaving with his knife, right?
Yeah, the actor was. Let me give you. Let's do this correctly here. The actor
it was,
Bill
what-
Duke. Bill Duke.
Yeah.
This is the actor right here.
Why did the Predator have dreadlocks? That was the first thing everybody said. He got dreadlocks.
Yeah.
He's Jamaican.
What is it selling for again?
50 to 60.
Not bad. All right. Man, another interesting book at number 7 this week, you guys. The Hood. Oh boy. I don't know what to think about this. Did you guys see the pictures that came out of him on set?
He
Yes.
looked like the character.
Yep. I broke this about 2 weeks ago, and it didn't see the dip. And at that point, it was a rumor. And then the next week, which was last week or whatever, the pictures came out, and that confirmed it. It was all over. But now it's seen a bump. But I want to give you guys a heads up on the Hood before we get Ben's take on this. If you go to my channel, if you're not subbed up and you are just looking for back issues that are actually key issues that are surrounded around a character, if you're speculating, investing, go to my channel. I do a really good one on the Hood. There's actually multiple first appearances in there besides Parker Robbins, a couple antagonists, and then issue 2, you have them on the cover, and they're all the way through the series. When you get to issue 2, it's a lower print run. It's not low print run, but it's a lower.
Yeah, I think people for a long time have just, the Hood's got like a following. Like there's people that really, really like the character. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work as this was like was this in Ironheart? Is that where?
Yeah.
Is that where?
Well, no. Well, World of Wakanda, right?
No, Ironheart.
Ironheart. Okay.
Yeah. So is he like?
Ironheart. Yeah.
Is he like Doctor Strange with guns? That's what I was told.
Well, I mean, remember when we were all on Flip Side, we were doing Spec 10. We were talking about.
I remember that.
Brother Voodoo becoming Dr. Voodoo, right?
Right.
So he was all around that. So New Avengers, that New Avengers run, right when you pass Veronica, and you get in those things like, I forgot what number it is, 40 something, and then that's when the Brother Voodoo. So that Avengers team, which is that New Avengers, Secret Avengers, where they're calling them, they were on the hunt for the Hood, and they went to New Orleans, and they were cruising in the Queen jet, and all of a sudden the Aya Agamotto leaves Stephen Strange's body and goes and just elevates to Brother Voodoo, and then they get the last page cameo. Really cool. But yeah, he seems like a weird character. I mean, probably 9 out of 10 of us that aren't into this character are thinking, oh God, this is a flyby. Ben's probably thinking that right now. But I like this character. I think it's cool. And plus he gets possessed in the comics, and a lot of rumors Dormammu's sticking around. So
Question, you think he's one and done, or he has longevity as a character?
One and done.
After I made that Gore the God Butcher bet a week before release, I don't know if I want to go there.
Fair enough.
One and done, man. One and done. Marvel doesn't know how to deal with villains unless it's one and done. So, all right. What is this? What is the series? Have you been looking to see what the series is selling for on this?
Not the whole series, the 1 through 6. One, it's good. It is Brian K. Vaughan, so that's.
Yes.
I mean, that is.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably really well written. But 9.8s are back up to 500 plus on this. It was at 500 plus before, but then it dropped, and now it's back up with these set pictures or whatever. So.
Isn't there a
Well-
dynamic forces variant to this too?
I don't know.
I heard there was a 4,500 count dynamic forces.
I do not know.
All right, next on the list, Sandman, baby. Sandman, the series has been a hit across the board. I don't think I've seen or heard anybody talk bad about it. And this is the special DC Netflix giveaway, right? Special edition. Was it a giveaway or was it did it cost money?
No, it was free.
Okay.
Yeah, these were free. Black Label, which I guess is probably just
Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, so this is only selling for like $5 to $10. But when you consider it is a free book, $5 to $10 is pretty good. But I know people last week were like, "Oh, why isn't Sandman 1 on the list? Why isn't Sandman 8 on the list? Why isn't Sandman 25 on the list? Why isn't all these?" They'd already hit their peaks.
They're definitely not selling for what they should be, in my opinion.
Great
They
point.
should be way more than what they're selling for.
They're selling for a lot. I mean, Sandman 1 had got up to like for like 9/8. It got up to like almost $1,200, and now it's like $800. So it's way less than what it was. So I just couldn't put them on this list. I'm sure they're selling, but they're just not selling at premiums. And that's unfortunately that's the rules of this list. That's the rules I set up years ago, and I really have never changed them, which honestly a lot of times makes it harder on me to actually come up with books that are going up. Other people have things on theirs where they're like, this is a hot book, and then the price is going way down. It's like, well, that's not the rules I set up. And if you want to follow those lists, you're more than welcome to. But this list is price increases week over week, and those are not there. But for what Brian's saying is, yes, the Sandman show apparently, I watched the first episode. I thought it was very well done. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole. It's on Netflix, so they're all available, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I have. Yeah.
How would you compare this to the Preacher series?
Better
than Preacher.
By far better.
Yeah, Preacher was more. It was like shock value. Like they were just trying to shock you. This is more like, at least from the first episode, it seemed more psychological than Preacher did.
The first issue of Sandman is like such a major storytelling moment, right? And a lot of people forget that Sam Keith was involved in those early Sandman.
Oh yeah.
But I like the fact that they really followed that they with that first issue with the opening up of Morpheus, and it always blew me away. I remember reading that first issue as a kid, and spoilers for you guys that don't know it. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck off. You should know. You should already read Sandman.
Bad.
that Morpheus helmet, and then the fact that, like, I remember seeing that as a kid, and there's always been something about that design of that helmet and how it almost looks like a bird skull, and then the fact that he was imprisoned, like here's this god character that's imprisoned in that first opening, issue, always blew me away. It was just such a great way to tell the story of the character, to open with that moment. So
okay, as someone who never read Sandman, and I apologize, how close is it to the comics?
They did some changes. Obviously, Death is in the comics is not portrayed as African descent. So she's not black in the comics. She's this little pale goth white girl, what it looks like to me.
Those are the first appearance of Captain Atom, and then it's iffy.
Well, she's in Captain Atom, but
that was the one Topher was talking about.
Yeah. And then they also changed up from male to female for
Constantine.
Which what,
wait,
man?
What?
Yeah. What's her name's Constantine?
Lady Constantine. Yeah.
The guy who smokes cigarettes all the time.
Yeah.
Fucking, John Wick. What the fuck's his name?
Yeah. Point Break.
Constantine. That comes from, he's part of the
Keanu.
Sandman.
Keanu.
Man, I'm like, what are you guys struggling with, Keanu?
Yeah, playing Pictionary over there.
So really good series. Go read it. A lot of
Yeah,
people.
I want to check it out. I want to check it out. I like being so late to the game.
It was very wordy though, right?
Very wordy. Neil Gaiman's a master storyteller. I don't want to call it like highbrow, but it's like you kind of got to like have an idea of what goes on in like esoteric, Victorian. It feels like it's like this. It feels British. You know what I mean? Like it's
Another
his
question.
historical gods.
Compared to American Gods, which I really liked.
Really?
Yeah, I thought American Gods was decent.
Yeah, I got started. I was half asleep, like hungover or some shit, and I started watching the episode. I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, this is not bad." And I like watched like the first season. I was like, "This is really good."
Yeah,
that was 2016. 2016,
probably
a couple years back.
But
American Gods also had some moments that felt like they were there just for shock value, which doesn't feel like Neil Gaiman to me.
Oh, yeah.
So, but American Gods I don't think it was bad. That's for sure. That's for sure. I really liked some parts of it, and I disliked some parts of it, but the likes outweighed the dislikes. That's for sure. So, all right, number 5 on this list. She's back. Aranya, Edge of Spider-Verse #1, Ramos variant. Love this cover. It's a 1 in 25 variant from the new series. There probably is a ton of these things, and I'm gonna go let my dog out while you guys talk about it. Be right back.
So, this is the one with the dinosaur?
Yeah. Dinosaur.
Spider Dino.
Yeah, Spider Rex, and then you have the Spider Laird, the Scottish Spider-Man. I can't do a Scottish accent. Yeah, tons of these. But
okay,
hey, this is doing good. It's like what, $50 now, Ben?
It's actually now up to 60.
And this is a 1 in 25.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Last week it was only like 30 to 40. Now it's up to 60.
What is driving? Don't tell me it's the fucking dinosaur, because if I'm buying this book for a dinosaur, I'm really pissed. Richard.
You open the centerfold and the Robin King comes out. Supply.
This be the second book Rich made me buy because of a dinosaur.
Hey, not to interrupt Mel real quick, I got to say this. If you have not seen that episode with me and Mel going back and forth about the dinosaur, you need to go to Mel's channel and look that shit up. Hit him up on IG. I'll find it for you.
I don't remember what episode it was, but I
think I have it down. You got to
see
the
funniest nights.
If they have a spider dinosaur, have they ever had a spider? Like another spider? Like that spider bites another.
Spider's man. He's made of all spiders.
What?
Yeah, he came out in the Spider-Geddon, the Edge of Spider-Geddon or Spider.
Seriously?
Series, yeah.
I was being
Spider's
funny.
Man. He's actually pretty cool too. He's like, he looks like Spider-Man, obviously, but then the way the artist portrays him, the spiders always falling off each other, and you can see that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's like molting spiders.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, with the power, does he have the powers of a human or just powers of a spider?
I'm guessing a spider. But man, there is becoming so many of these spider characters. I'm just going to be honest, and a lot of you guys aren't going to like this take, but I don't care. A lot of them, they can't develop all of them, and if they do, they're going to be like this. So, read your books.
What Marvel Man said. Somebody else told me this. Shout out to Spidey Hunter. He was like, he was like, yo, why? I was like, why the hell does the dinosaur have spider powers? And he knows I like Peter Porker. He's like, same reason a pig got spider. I was like, motherfucker, you're right. Damn it, you're right. Like, so I really couldn't say anything else, but still, spider dinosaur. Whatever floats your boat, man.
I guess. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this book again.
Well,
we talked about it last week, and I'm like, I don't really think it. I know you. I don't. You don't hate the Ramos cover, but I'm not super.
You're really hit or miss when it comes to Ramos. I know this.
Yeah. Now, hey, I will ask you this, and maybe you can answer. Why is her name? Why did she change her name? Why did it go from Anya to? Why did it go from Anya to Aranya?
I think she becomes this Spider UK. Is that what happens in issue 2? It's just a last page cameo. I don't from.
No, I mean like from her original series, she changed from issue 1
Are you
to 2.
talking about her actual name? The actual name? No,
yeah.
I think she had been Aranya since Amazing Fantasy 1.
No, she was Anya, Anya,
Oh,
right?
she was? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
she started as Anya.
You got one up on me on that one. You got me.
I just didn't know if you knew why.
No. Bro,
there we go.
Seriously.
Aranya is Spanish for spider. Anya is her real name.
So she doesn't. So it didn't change. Okay.
I mean, she took all this time to create a costume. She's about to change the name.
Like, it's her government name.
Yeah, it's a government. Yeah. You never heard that phrase before?
New one for me. It's a dead name. You ever heard of a dead name? We won't get into that on this show, but maybe later.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. That's your government. That's my government name.
Next on the list, number 4. Bang, number 1. Matt Kent, slowly one of the really, really smart guys doing really, really cool stuff. And he's getting some love with Idris Elba in tow.
If this is going for 40, what does the Ash Can go on for?
That's a good question.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I saw sales for this for 25 to 30. Now the fact that it's got Idris Elba, I think, is a huge plus because I like that dude a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He is so good. But again, this is just, and I like that Netflix is actually sounds like they're following through on some of these Dark Horse projects, which is a good thing because there are some Dark Horse things that I hope that get made.
I remember when this first came out, Midtown Off Rip was limited one.
You could have got both.
Yeah, so it looks like
$24.
Yeah, so it looks like the Ash Can is about the same as
9.8 for 163.
It's not bad. Man,
no, not at all.
I mean, I like the fact that people aren't going crazy with this stuff anymore. Like they're like, oh, okay, it's gonna
normal.
Be made. I'm not gonna spend $150 or something just because it's got option or something.
It's putting food on the table, buying bang. So that's the world we live in.
Yeah,
that free money shit gone.
Yeah. What other Dark Horse stuff are you hoping for from
Star Wars everything?
Netflix?
Yeah,
well,
Star
from
Wars everything.
No, from Netflix.
Oh, Netflix.
Because that's why
I was going to ask you just to allude to that. How come this wasn't on HBO Max, Ben?
Because Dark Horse set up the
or not this. I'm sorry. Netflix or Sandman.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know.
This is interesting. Well, not interesting, but I like when people bring this up that Matt Kent's a big part of what's going on over at Bad Idea. He did a lot of those stories over there. So, right, did the ENIAC stuff, did the Hero Trade stuff, I think, right? So
Aaron Yee wrote a very, very good book. That's being slept on. Yes. Good one, Yee. Good one.
So, all right, here we go, you guys. On to number 3 this week. I found this very interesting. I sold this book a while back and looking it up to find out, what was going on so I could talk about it. The Maddie Franklin stuff is very interesting in this. And now it sounds like there's some casting news with her.
Yeah, so she got cast for that Madam Web. Yeah, that's a movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so she got cast this week, and this had been going for about 20 to 25. Now it's about 40. I don't know.
Sony been fucking up, so careful.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I don't think Sony can pull off anything anymore.
No.
Would you say this is an AF-15 homage?
Yes.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. For sure. So
the character, this is Spider-Woman.
Yeah. There were some outliers on this. Like one time not too long, I'll see if I can look it up. This book sold for like a couple $100. It was crazy.
Was like a newsstand?
It wasn't a newsstand. It was not. It really blew me away when I saw it. Let me see if I can find it.
See, it's funny. I see a lot of people's. They're saying that they think the Madam Web movie is going to be terrible. I mean, like it's kind of crazy. Like, there's really not even like a plot or anything, right? I mean, is there going to finalize script on it?
It's just a bunch of spider people getting together, just having coffee. It sounds like.
Yes. Or it's just going to be a bunch of women. I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
$2.99 best offer for a 9.6. I mean, there were some crazy prices of this that sold.
$8.
Kind of all over the place. Yeah, it's one of those books that is kind of
a lot of
polarizing.
people don't know about. $5.75 for a 9.8.
It's an old story that Spider Girls are protecting Ben and May Parker, aka Spider-Man's parents.
Yep.
Yeah.
Montana to Rice. 300-yard game.
Montana to Rice. And then Jalen Ramsey knocked that shit down.
Yeah, so Steve Schuss asked what's the reason for this being even sold. It's just it's this first Maddie Franklin as Spider-Woman. I don't think it's her first appearance, but it's her first appearance as Spider-Woman.
Hey, Steve, great profile pick, my man. Man after my own heart. The Battle Beast.
So here's Maddie Franklin. For those of you guys that might not know much about her, let's drop some information. All right. There you go. There's a picture of her. Maddie Franklin was a regular teenager living in New York City. She was the daughter of Jerry Franklin, a wealthy businessman. Her uncle was J. Jonah Jameson, editor and owner of the Daily Bugle. When Spider-Man mysteriously disappeared for a few months from superhero scene, Maddie took to fighting the criminals in his name. When the real Spider-Man returned, she fought Charlotte Witter and then became known as Spider-Woman with the blessing of Jessica Drew. That's a big name. Going through a number of different costumes before eventually settling on the black and red bodysuit. So there you guys go.
This movie sounds terrible.
Very interesting, man. We'll see. This is a great book to buy for $1. Buy it for $1 and sell it for a lot more. So, all right, you guys, we're getting close to the big discussion here. 259 live. We're at number 2 this week. And rightfully so, this book should be getting more love because it's gorgeous. Second week on the list. Poison Ivy, number 3, the McKinnon 1 in 50 variant is absolutely gorgeous.
Had this in my cart. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance for $60. Kind of like what you said, Ben. And I was like, I'll be here next week. So, yes, fuck this book, but not for the reasons. Only because I didn't get it. So, fuck, this is gorgeous. This is a beautiful cover. I thought it was all right last week, but now I'm looking at it. It's a damn good cover. I got to give it its flowers. Much
love from Sizzle Magic for the $4.99 super sticker. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, and I said and specifically said, I'm on eBay right now. I'm going to go ahead and buy one.
Same thing.
We were on the show, and I said I'm going to buy it right now. And we got to talking about something else, and I forgot about it. And I went straight to bed and forgot about it, and now it is selling for $200.
Yeah, I had it in my cart, and then I forgot the gentleman who told me, "So, Mel, you need to get 2 of these." It's all right. It still reminds me of Final Fantasy artwork, like instruction manual artwork, which is good. It's not bad, but
yeah, he's a Magic the Gathering artist too, which is his art looks great. By the way, if retailers, exclusive guys, if you're looking for new artists, maybe you want to jump on this Seb McKinnon. He's badass.
You win some, lose some. You know. That's how
Sid drops the $20 super chat saying, "Here for the Ivy. Love the channel. We appreciate you. Thank you so much."
Very, very much.
Yeah. You guys are the reason we do it. So if you guys continue to be here and rock with us, we'll rock with you. That's for sure.
Ooh, Justin Shannon just brought fighting words, though.
What's that?
Said the Middleton cover is way better.
A lot of people think that, too.
Not on this one. I love
I don't
Middleton.
like the eyes and the face on the Middleton. It looks too photorealistic.
She looks very plasticky, but this one just there's something now. In general, Middleton is magnificent. I love Middleton, but on this cover, no, I think this one. I think this is definitely the one.
Yeah, put a poll up.
Put up a poll.
We're not going to have any time for a poll because number one, ladies and gentlemen.
Before we get to number one, and no disrespect to anybody on the panel, I'm sitting this one out. Fuck that book. No disrespect to you guys at all, but I don't want nothing to do with this. The more we talk about this stupid fucking book, the more you're bringing it life. I'm going to sit this one out. You gentlemen have a great evening. And again, no disrespect to anybody on the panel. I don't want to talk about it.
We love you, Mel.
We'll see you on Drunken Chat, brother.
Appreciate you.
Later, Mel. Love you, bro.
Yeah, he told me that he was probably going to, once we got up to number one, he was like, I'm just going to.
Yep. All right, you guys, here we go. Let's get into it. I want to first say that I love Mel like a brother. I will always love Mel like a brother. There's I think that he is one of the most respected people in this community, and there's a reason for that. I really, really respect him, but I disagree with the thought process of not talking about this book. I think that we should talk about this book. I think that we should remember this book, and I think we should use it as a reason to change the industry, to better the industry, to fix the industry, and on multiple levels. I mean, C2E2 was just like a budding flower, man. There was so much stuff that happened at that con that we can turn into making this community better and talking about this book and why and what the problems we have with it, the real problems. I think there's a lot of fake problems out there that people are starting to push on certain people. I think that a lot of the quote unquote whatnot people that people are talking about, I don't think they deserve any of the hate that's throwing on them for C2E2. I think that there was some bad optics with how they handled it. They need to be told that, people, that maybe that was a mistake, but people make mistakes all the time. So I don't think they should be getting any hate for this book specifically. Maybe how they handled talking about it after the C2E2, they could get some constructive criticism there, but don't think that they should be getting any hate. I think that the hate should be directed right now. If hate's a strong word, but the dislike should be directed right now at Black Flag Comics for how they're handling this, how they did handle it. I also think that we as a community need to talk about it and how to, like I said, most importantly, utilize this to make the community better, aka how exclusives are handled. And when I say exclusives, I mean retailer exclusives. I don't mean ratio variance. I mean the retailer exclusive and how that game is treaded on is very there's a lot of problems in there that make this community worse. It can be used well. This is a perfect example for us to start numbering books. There's no reason we should not be numbering books, especially books under 1,000. It's also showing retailers that they need to take some time on some of these exclusives. Look at what you're doing. Talk to your peers. Do you really want to put this out? Are you just putting this out to be in the game? Are you putting it out because you think it's a good cover? Ask yourself those things. Those are the two most important things that we can do going forward. Do not forget this book. Do not forget this book.
No, and I mean, I tend to agree. Now, I know we really haven't talked about it. We talked about this book last week, but we didn't really know what was actually going on. Now, Yi kind of called it out as to what it was, but I think he might have been doing it in jest, but it was really kind of, I mean, it ended up being in truth, but we didn't know that. All we knew at the time was that it was selling for $175, which was double what the cost was. well, the supposed cost, but we didn't know all that other stuff was going on. None of us were at in Chicago, so we didn't know any of that stuff. So when I saw there were a few things that were people were like, hey, how did that thing get on there? It's a little questionable. Really, it just came down to I was just looking at sales. I didn't know anything else about it. I'm not even sure people at the con knew what was going on. I'm not even sure that if the way these things were purchased and people got mad about it, I'm not sure it would have ever even made the anger and people calling
100%.
CG. I think if people would have just been able to buy it, I think it would have never got any heat at all. I mean, as far as like bad heat, it might have been popular, but I'm not sure people would have ever been like, hold on now, this thing's not even a real book, if it hadn't have been sold under the table or in front of everybody under the table type things going
Yeah,
on
because
up
that stuff
front.
has been going on for 30 years.
Oh, of
The
course.
first day of cons, all the retailers get together. They say, "Hey, I'm wholesaling these books. I'll trade you for some of the ones you want to wholesale." Or, "Hey, anything 30% off anything you see on my wall for any other retailers." Like, that's been going on for 30 years. And if that's a problem with you guys, then I don't know what to say about it being a problem yet. I think we need to talk more about that. But it's been happening for 30 years, and I think the hate that people like Skeff specifically have been getting. Skeff hasn't had a chance to come out and talk about this. He's kind of been the smart one, and instead of putting up something hastily and making a joke about it, he said, "All right, I'm going to sit back for a little bit and come out the right time and talk about it," which I think is smart. I think we need to hear from the people that were there, aka Comic Man Andy, who came out and talked about being in that line and has really been upfront about, hey, did I make a mistake here? That's what we want to know. That's what makes us endear ourselves to the people, that, hey, they're human. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I think we can all give, well, in this case we can all give kind of everybody a, hey, this was a mistake, let's own up to it, move on, get better. But I'll be honest, I'm looking at these auctions and stuff, and I know these CGC board people are a bunch of weirdos, and they're the ones that are bidding this thing up to $25,000 because eBay said they're allowed to cancel their bids because it's so they can,
trolling.
so they're basically just trolling. So if they think that that's cool, and they're like, hey, look at me, I was able to bid that thing, you're not doing anything. You're just part of the problem. So you're in it by doing that. You're no different than any of the retailers that you're railing against. So stop doing that. That's garbage. If you don't like it, just ignore it. Why would you bid it up to $25,000? That's so stupid. That's idiotic. But I think a lot of the hate on this is, again, all these problems. And see, you could blame it on Black Flag if you want. And
the only thing I blame, real quick, the only thing that I blame on Black Flag is this. There's a couple of things. I don't blame Black Flag for. I think this is a genius idea. I think it's a genius idea. But they screwed up a couple of ways. One, they screwed up with how they screwed up the flag, right? A lot of people are talking this point. There are certain things that are very important, that are sacred, right? And whether however you feel politically or not, the sacred part doesn't come about politics. It comes for the people in the military that have served this country, right? It has nothing to do with politics. It's about, having respect for that flag and what it means, and especially in that position, right? Second of all, the wording issues on the back, where, again, they're not there. If in what is it?
In God we entrust.
Yeah,
America.
God isn't capitalized. Like,
well, in trust.
Mistake.
In God we entrust. America.
Yeah.
I'm not. This sounds really bad, and this is not a political show at all. But it sounds like a Kamala Harris word salad.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I'm just going to say a bunch of random words and that mean absolutely nothing. That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
And it shows it to people out there that you don't really care enough about it to make sure it's correct, right?
Right.
That's the big reason that I have a lot of problem. And then how Black Flag handled it after the issue, he threw more gasoline on the fire. How he handled Boston today, the way he laughed in people's faces, that type of attitude and that type of the way you handle your business doesn't work anywhere. I don't know why people think that would work. Like, again, remember, you guys, how you spend your money is one of the most important things you'll do in life, is how you spend your money, right? As you get older, you realize that some people realize that how much money I make and how I feel when I go to sleep at night changes things, right? I don't care about the money I make. If I feel like I've wronged somebody, I feel like an asshole. And especially when the cannabis comes into mind, because then I feel like even more of an asshole. Like I gotta make it right. So you know, there's personally, I just think that guy was an asshole, and he shouldn't have been an asshole about it. He really looks bad. And those types of businesses, you wouldn't spend your money at if they were selling food to you. You wouldn't spend your money with those people if they were selling your groceries. Nothing. Why would you want to spend your money with an asshole?
Yeah. There's something I want to add. It's a little bit side note. I've been talking to Bryan all week, last few days. He knows what I've been, having to deal with or what have you, because I have Ben's back. And it's not just because I'm friends with Ben or I work with Ben doing content. I know the guy. I actually know the guy. I know he's not what people suspect. So with that, rather than jump to conclusions based on previous owners of certain sites and apps and this and that, why don't you Ben has an open forum on his comment section. He's got an IG. Just ask him whatever your question is. But, when you communicate with people, show respect in the sense that you want to be communicated with respect. We live in a really redundant, dry world right now because the last 2.5 years, 3 years, we've been stuck in a house and we talk to everybody on the computer and the phone without a voice. And it's one of the reasons why Bryan and I have a good, and Ben and I, all three of us have good conversations. We actually call each other. These are the only two guys I actually talk to, and then Bryan Barber. But yeah, don't just jump to conclusions, because go to the source and find out. And Ben was being honest when he put this book on the list. There was actual confirmed sales. The same person, or same people that I'm dealing with, not people, but just one particular person. He was in the live chat earlier under his YouTube name. I didn't recognize him, and then I backtraced him, and Ben mentioned something about the Aranya Ramos 1 in 25. I said 40 or 50 or something like that, and whatever Ben said. And this guy's going crazy because the last couple days sales have been around ratio. Well, there actually was a $50 sale plus shipping on the 8th, and there were two $35 sales plus shipping. So why are you in the comments trying to make Ben look bad like he made a mistake? So my whole point is that if you're not going to come here and give constructive criticism, and you're just going to be that guy in the shadows that just is the keyboard black belt, maybe we're not the channel for you. That's just my opinion.
A shout out to Keep It Thorough that drops a $5 super chat. He says, for the House of Stein being one of the few real ones, and visit Black Flag at Boston and get your Acetate Dum Dum edition. Can't believe they did that. Yeah, they put Dum Dums on the tables, and nothing else like that. Why do that?
Yeah, and make sure you go watch Keep It Thorough. He's got a really good channel. As well. So make sure you go watch that. He had a really long video about this only. We're not going to spend really any more time on it. It is what it is. It is what it is. I think in general, I think not just not just Black Flag, not just quote influencers. I think the buyers, I think us as buyers, us as collectors, I think Marvel as a seller, CGC as a grader. I think across the board, I think everybody needs to just, whoa, okay, we need to set some parameters on certain things, and we need to, again, this is how the sports card market completely crashed in the 90s. They were just doing whatever they wanted. And then once they made the decision, oh gosh, we really have to tighten things up here. And once they did, then all of a sudden the market rebounded. And comics need to sustain, we as a whole, not just us as buyers, not just us as collectors, not just retailers, not just influencers, not Marvel, DC, all of us need to kind of step back and say, what are we doing? And where can I get better on this? Because I think in this particular book, I think it's not just one person that's at fault. There was a ton of fault to be thrown around on this, and everyone has to kind of look at themselves. Even me, as I didn't have anything to do with this book, but I mean, I've kind of looked at, what not necessarily this exact situation, but in other things that I'm either looking at to buy or think that's cool or whatever. I need to think about what I'm actually projecting that could, potentially, kind of steer people the wrong direction. My intent was to not, when I put it on the list last week, was not to steer somebody to go buy this. Like I said, I was just basically reporting that it was there. I didn't know anything about it.
Mr. Roboto says, I've asked this question on IG and Ben won't answer. Why include store variant on the list? We've talked about that, Mr. Roboto, multiple times.
Why include them at all?
Yeah.
Like, why to put them on here? Oh, I mean, you can't, like it or not, it is a part of our hobby. I mean, you can,
right.
You can get mad at me for putting variants on the list or store variants or anything on the list. And, why don't you just put a bunch of silver keys? Again, you're right. I could do that, but that is the most boring topic on a weekly basis to talk about.
Yeah, it would all be the same books. Amazing Spider-Man 300, Spawn #1.
What would be the point?
Hulk 180. Yeah.
Store variants, there is a huge market for it. Somebody has tapped into that. There are a lot of people that buy them. There has to be, or these stores would not continue to do them. Yes, there are some that are terrible, but as a whole, they keep doing them. They keep dropping $10,000 on these books from Marvel. Well, they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we get you, Roboto. We appreciate that too.
Much love and respect.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I think that's what makes our show here so much different than all the videos that are edited on all the other channels that are not just like live shows. I'm answering on the fly. I'm answering honestly, and I've thought about these things a lot in prior to where when you do ask me those questions, I'm prepared. I know why I think that certain things, and I'm willing to answer them, and I'm willing to be honest, and I don't have some kind of an agenda behind the scenes. Yes, do I have a bunch of books? Sure. Do I sometimes sell? Sure. But you can always come to me and I'll be 100% honest. If I've got a book, I'll tell you. If I don't have a book, I'll tell you that too. If I think a book is cool, why not? But I'm never going to have relationships or do this list for me to gain off of this list. It's going to be strictly for information, for fun, and for us to talk about stuff. And this is like one of those things that definitely needed talked about. But we've been probably, if this hadn't have happened, we've still been talking about things like this for quite some time, for many, many shows way before this happened. So the fact that it now has happened is not a surprise. I mean, we've been saying for years, Marvel, freaking number your books, number them. None of this stuff would have ever happened.
And
if
transparency. We've been talking about
just be transparent.
Yes. There's nothing that could help you more as a business than to be transparent. In my opinion, I will spend more money with you if you are transparent about things than if you're not. That's just the way I am, and I think that can help that a lot. Now, here's what I do want to say about this, and a lot of people are going to go, why do you have it at number one? Why do you have this? There has not been a book that we have talked about more and on a community level. Like, you can't go on your social media without 3 in 10 posts being about this. Okay. That's a reason to put it at number one, specifically for that. And also because we have to talk about this and remember it, use it, right? Remember this book. Don't forget about this in 90 days and let things continue to happen the way they are. Like Ben was saying, Marvel, DC, any publisher, put the numbers on the books. If it's a less than 1,000 print run, there's nothing you could do more right now that would help than that. CGC, be a little bit better about coming on these shows and talking to the community. I mean, Matt Nelson has been really great with us. He's come on multiple shows and talked. Give us somebody else if Matt's not available. I don't expect the vice president and CEO or whatever of CGC to come on every time there's an issue, but it'd be nice to have somebody there come on and say, hey, yeah, this is what happened. Let's talk about it.
Let me add to that, Brian, real quick. I'm covering the book and the retailer's name because we don't do that here. But this particular exclusive, which I bought, one for Ben, one for Brian, is numbered out of 700, around 700. This is 39 and Brian's is 38, which is going in the press. So yeah, that is a great idea. And I also wanted to say, I apologize. I wasn't trying to be a dick, but the person that I was speaking of, he's been writing me all week about this, and I've been trying to be respectful as possible, but it's just, comes to a boiling point. So I apologize, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're all trying to be better, but more than anything, on top of that, we want our community to be better. Having Dennis on last week when this thing was all going down, I give Dennis a lot of respect for coming on the show, and that guy's not going to change his tune. He's real. Some people might think, Dennis is a pain in the ass. He's always yelling. Dennis is who Dennis is, and I respect that guy for it. And you know what? I would have him on any show, anytime to talk about stuff. The same reason that I bring on Jesse James Comics, the same reason that I bring on Hive Comics, the same reason I bring on Bird City and Wanted Comics and Big Clutch. I respect these guys. I'd have them on any show. And I want our platforms in some way to be that for other people. You know what I mean? Like Saturday, I'm going to do my best to get Skeff on. I'm going to do my best to get Andy on. I'm going to do my best to get Bolo on. I'm going to do my best to get Jesse on. I want to know their opinions, and I want to know what they think about what happened. It's important for that. So CGC, give us somebody that can do that, please. CBCS, give us somebody that can do that. Marvel, DC, somebody that will come on these shows and talk about what's going on.
And let me point out, because Dennis keeps saying stuff about that I'm promoting CGC and stuff, because this was the grades I got on this huge order that I just had. Okay. Well, first of all, CBCS and I'm definitely not. I'm not defending CGC at all. I'm saying that CBCS had the benefit of these books not being sent to them first. CGC had these sent to them. They graded them. They clearly misgraded them because they've now changed their label to now correctly label what these books actually are. But I don't think anybody really knew what these books were. Now, should they have known before they put their name on it? Absolutely. But you can't say that CBCS wouldn't have made that same mistake had Black Flag set up a thing directly with CBCS on this. Now, CBCS I have no issues with them, but they are not perfect either.
Yeah.
CGC is not perfect. CBCS is not perfect.
Yeah.
This is the reality right here. The reality is this. These are two books that sold right after each other, like literally within seconds. Same book, same grade, two different grading companies. You got $1,000 difference. Whether that's right or wrong, it's the reality right now, right? And this is it. This is the reality. Until people start spending their money and changing this reality, then CGC is going to be the place.
No, and I'm just I think Dennis is thinking that I'm saying that CGC was correct. I'm not saying that CGC was correct. I'm saying that you're railing for CBCS, but you don't know that they would have made the correct decision. They're now trolling and basically using this, and I don't blame them, but they're using this as a, hey, we'll do it right.
We're better.
We're better. We'll do it right. Well, you weren't good enough to get the account to start with. So if you would have gotten it and, Black Flag said, hey, I'm going to send you all these books and this is going to be really good for you, who's to say that they wouldn't have graded them? Right? I mean, you don't know that.
Yeah. It is about the integrity, Dennis. That's why I'm bringing up the fact that how you spend your money says a lot. How you spend your money says a lot. And maybe, those books shouldn't be such a big change. Maybe people need to start spending their money the right way. Maybe I need to open up an account with CBCS. All right. That's exactly what I mean. So, I'll keep harping on it again. How we spend our money says a lot as a community. And what we agree with and don't agree with. I know it's sarcasm, Dennis. That's why I
love Dennis.
Yeah,
love him.
I would block you otherwise, asshole. No,
and the same thing with the person we were talking about. I would have blocked him as well. But we want this discussion.
Yes.
This open debate. It's important.
Yep. So, I will say this: Drunken Chat. Following this, make sure you guys go check it out. We have a lot of fun over there. Tomorrow night, come hang out on Monocomic Mayhem. I'm going to do my best to get as many people who were there on to talk about it. I want Jack to come in. I want to ask, Jack, hey, what are your feelings on this? How do you were there? You saw it go down. I want to know Jack's feelings as a Whatnot employee on the 8687 Fleer box. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that's why we do this. So just remember this book, you guys. Remember it in a way that, it could be a turning point. It could be a very big turning point in our community. And that's important. So, all right. That being said, you guys, we have one book to give away tonight. And that is, or one set of books to give away tonight. And that is based on the people that commented on last week's show. So let me go ahead and go
for
find
the
that.
DD book. The DD book.
The Daredevil book. You got it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to that show here. All right, here we go. And we are going to copy that. And we're going to go to YouTube comments picker. That I promise you guys, I'm going to show Stein how to use this after this show tonight. So he doesn't have to give away a paycheck book on his phone. So
this is exactly what I went to.
Yeah,
and I typed it in.
You didn't do this right here, the CAPTCHA probably. 4 + 6 =
Yeah,
10.
I did that.
You
and
did
it just,
that?
and I clicked that and it said YouTube comments are blocked or something like that.
Yeah, mine
That's
does that
weird.
too sometimes
Well,
on my
so
videos.
let me show you guys something important that may help. So say you go to the video, you don't want to choose this right here, this link at the top, right? You don't want to choose that. You want to choose the video link, which is the share link.
That's exactly where I went.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, maybe they hate you, dude.
Well, hey, I get that a lot.
I love you, brother. Always will.
All right, here we go, you guys. So,
hey, look, Patrick, I'm never gonna live that one down. It was the worst giveaway ever for like probably the best book giveaway ever.
Yeah, amen. All right, you guys, here's the books. Shout out to Wanted Comics and this great David Mack Daredevil set. Love David Mack. Who doesn't love David Mack? David Mack Daredevil is even better, and David Mack Daredevil and Elektra is even better than that. So here we go, you guys. The winner is Jay Darkside. Spider-Rex will be one of the main characters in Across the Spider-Verse animated movies. That is the winning comment. Thank you, Jay Darkside, for that, man. Jay Darkside, do me a favor.
Very
Hit
cool.
me up on IG at Bryan McClay on IG. We've got a lot of giveaways that we're working on getting out to you guys, so I appreciate it. Tony, I got your Do You Poo Star Wars homage heading your way, brother. I will not forget about you. Appreciate all you guys. And I want to say one last thing. I respect the hell out of this guy and this guy right here. So I just want everybody to know that, and I wouldn't be here otherwise. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and
We'll
a quick happy birthday to Jen from Nearing Nirvana. Was it yesterday?
Yeah,
Today?
she got to go have some fun at C2E2. Go check out Nearing Nirvana. They had a great show tonight. They have great shows on Tuesday nights, and they have a great IG also. So shout out Lucy, Laura, and Jen, and all the other people that help out over there. I see a lot of great content creators over there. So much love to all you guys, and we'll see you guys on Drunken Chat, and we'll see you tomorrow over on Modern Comic Mayhem. Adios.
See you.